Yeah, no, don't worry. I'll go get him. We'll be right back. Hold on. It's gonna be good. Hey, Yam.
Yeah.
I got somebody you gotta meet. His name's Robert. Or Bob.
Bob?
Bob. Yeah, you gotta come meet him. Come on.
All right.
Come on.
I don't really. Who is this guy?
Don't worry. You'll see soon enough.
Who the hell are you? I'm you in 10 minutes. No. There he goes, running away from himself. I cannot believe you have brought another ridiculous Harley Davidson into this shop. I should fire you. I really should. Why are we doing this?
Because this is the Milwaukee 8. This is the 114 Fat Bob.
How many times do I have to hear that this is the Harley? How many times, Spike?
So we've had 4 the Harleys.
Yeah.
This is the one that everybody keeps pointing us to.
Yeah.
It's the motorcycle that everybody's like, it's the flagship one. You got to ride this one. Here it is. We're going to see whether or not it cuts the mustard.
So, what is this? Is it 19, 2020?
This is a 2019 Fat Bob right here.
2019 Fat Bob.
4,000 miles that we rented off of Twisted Road.
Yep. As you guys know, lots of our motorcycles come from Twisted Road. Hit the link down below. Check out what they've got in your area. Maybe you can rent a cool bike. Not this bike, because it's not very cool. Maybe something actually cool. But while you're down there, we've also got these new t-shirts. Check them out. Torque Matters, baby. Big V-twins. If you're a Harley rider, a V-twin lover, maybe a Spite over here, maybe you'd love to pick yourself up this t-shirt. Remember, every dollar you spend is an entry to win one of our giveaway bikes. And I'd like to wager that if you're watching this video, torque matters to you. So let's learn a little bit more about the specs of this machine, shall we? Let's see if it means anything for the Harley Davidson Fat Bob. God! All right, Spite, tell us the numbers on this bad boy.
All right, well, so a little bit about the actual bike itself. The reason why this is the real one, because we need to clarify that, because all the armchair Harley people in the comments are going to get mad. Although they
always get mad.
They don't have anything to get mad about this time, because this is the flagship Softail. This is the one that replaced the V-Rod as their performance muscle bike. This is the flagship Softail motorcycle. It's the biggest one they have, aside from the 117s that you find in the CVOs. Now, 114 cubes on this bad boy, which translates to about 1,868 cc's out of a massive V-twin that is air and oil cooled. Remarkably, this one stays really cool. I was riding it in, and it really doesn't get hot at all.
What's the power out of all those cc's?
It's 114 foot-pounds of torque.
What's the horsepower?
Nobody cares about horsepower.
No, what's
Harley.
what's the horsepower?
94 horsepower.
94 horsepower. If my math serves me right here, that's about 50 horsepower per liter.
Yeah.
That's
a little rough.
That's kind of rough.
But, I mean, again...
But the torque matters.
You're wearing the Torque Matters shirt.
The torque matters.
It is a very torquey motorcycle, and you get 114 foot-pounds at 3,500 RPM.
That's like diesel torque. That's crazy.
Pretty dang low. And it pulls really well from about 3,500 to 5,500, where the party stops very abruptly.
Yeah.
So... this motorcycle does weigh in at 675 pounds.
Look, guys, the only 675 I like is the 675 my Daytona. Okay, I don't like the 675 number in this one. Don't like it.
The number you're really not going to like is the blue book on it. It is $18,799 reduced.
That's almost down to the dollar what I paid for our new Expert bike, which is going to get revealed tomorrow. Wow. Wow. But hey, it's a Harley.
Yeah.
I get why they're expensive. This isn't news to me, right? So what you said before, we've ridden a Dyna, we've ridden our 883 Sportster, which we transformed into a 1275 Sportster, which I actually really liked. That was really cool. And we did the Sport Glide, which I did not like. So this truly is Harley's kind of last chance to dazzle me and impress me. And so many people in the comments have told us that this bike will dazzle and impress. So what do you say I go do a raw first ride on it?
Yeah, I'm actually really interested to see what you think, because if I was going to buy a Harley and it wasn't the Pan Am, it would be this bike right here.
Wow.
So,
wow.
I'm really pulling for it today.
Let's see. All right, folks. Swinging a leg over the Harley Davidson Obese Robert, the Fat Bob. I've got the key in my pocket, so I should be able to start it with the keyless. And I'm doing this solo style, even though there's a bike in front of me. I'm going it alone, baby. I'm the lone warrior on my fat steed here. Oh, baby, it's a real bike. I can't even believe it. Am I in first gear? Yes, I am. Let's crack it into neutral here. Feel the mass of this thing, dude. 675 pounds. Ready to go. I'm so excited. Spite and I are not on comms. I'm about to take off with this thing. Ugh. I'm rolling, baby. We're going, baby. All right. So just in case somebody gets it twisted here, this is not my first time. Wow, it does not turn. This is not my first time on a Harley Davidson. Far from it. I have ridden plenty of Harleys, to the point now where we needed to get this Fat Bob because everyone told me that this 114 big old honkin' stonkin' engine, the Harley thing, this would be the one that changes it all. And you know, I have not ridden this bike yet, very first raw impression, and cruising along here, I gotta say, it feels like every other M8 Harley thing I've ridden. I'm so sorry, guys, to disappoint you. That yes, this motor makes a good amount of torque. Yes, its build quality and kind of fit and finish is a little cooler and nicer than some of the other Harleys I've been on. But at the end of the day, baby, it's still a big old Harley. And there's nothing you can do about that, man. That's just the style of these bikes. And I just don't think that it is for me. Wow, at idle, it feels like it's about to turn off. It's idling so low. All right, let's feel some of this prodigious Harley torque, shall we? It feels about as fast as an SV650. I'm just kidding. Maybe like an SV with like 10 or 12 more horsepower. The sense of torque is really nice. It's got a really rich power band down low. That's the thing that people love about these motorcycles, is you just get to roll on the gas. It doesn't matter what your RPM is, it'll just kind of pull away. And that is really nice, you know? That's a wonderful sensation on these motorcycles. I mean, who doesn't love a motorcycle with a gigantic engine in it? It feels awesome. And it's so American, you know? It's got the same big, fat, wide levers as every other Harley that I've ridden. The clamshells look like they've finally been updated slightly for the new age models. So that's cool. But for me, there's no getting away from the fact that this is just bad value for money, man. This is an $18,500 motorcycle, plus paint, plus tax, plus title, plus licensing. I mean, you're talking $20,000 for this thing. And for $20,000, you can get basically any motorcycle you want within reason. That's top tier echelon money. That's 210 V4 money. That's MT10 money. That's Super Duke GT. Any sport touring. Basically any ADV bike. The Pan Am is $20,000. And on this thing, I'm not getting heated grips. I don't have cruise control. I don't have a quick shifter. I don't have traction control, I don't think. Maybe I do. I don't think I do. I might. I'm not sure. Because again, this is my very first raw impression ride on it. I did not, do any big background research on this thing. I wanted it to be raw and pure. Over other Harley Davidsons that I've ridden, I like this bar setup. I think it works really well with the bike. The kind of wide headlight at the front is pretty cool too. I think it's a sharp looking bike, dude. You can't say that it's a bad looking motorcycle. And as you guys can see here, I've got my starfish pegs where my legs are literally locked out, basically, almost, as I starfish on this motorcycle. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Why would you want to ride like this, bro? Put your feet in a more normal position and go to town.
One thing I like is that this bike does have foot forward controls. Basically, in my opinion, I know it's unpopular, but basically all cruiser motorcycles should have foot forward controls. They really shouldn't come with mids, in my opinion, because that's not what the whole thing is about. If you're trying to buy a sport bike or you're trying to buy a naked bike, just buy a naked bike or sport bike. Don't try to make your cruiser into a naked bike or a sport bike. That's just kind of weird. But, you know, it's going down the road in such a supple and smooth manner. These bikes remind me so much of just like, you know, a big diesel truck or something like that. And, you know, nobody gets into a big diesel truck that's got all the amenities and luxuries and says, damn, this doesn't go like a sports car. This kind of sucks. That's not the point, you know? And I totally understand that's not the point of the Fat Bob. It's not meant to be a you know, ridiculously fast sport bike. That's really not what the whole thing's about. It's got these this setup for the turn indicators here, one on each side, which is a Harley peculiarity that they have. Instead of just having the one switch here on the left, they've done that for forever. Don't know why, but yeah, this thing's you know, it's not. The thing about these bikes is they're not terrible, but for the money you're spending and what you're getting, it's a hard case for me to make to purchase this motorcycle. But you gotta love the torque. I mean, an 1800-ish cc motor, you know, you twist the throttle, it's got this low, grumbly, you know, kind of lurch forward feeling. And that's great, you know? It's really nice. But that's kind of like the only thing that this bike does, is that the main party trick is just low down torque. And there's plenty of other bikes I can think of that have low down torque as well. So we're now going to take this bike on a bit of a twistier section of road, and I will report back to you guys what I think of it on that twisty section of road. Alrighty folks, into our twistier section of road here with the Harley Davidson Fat Bob. It's a motorcycle, so you know what? It's got to be able to tackle some twisties, right? And man, the first thing I notice is this bike is just kind of lumbering, dude. It doesn't really want to stay on line. It wants to continue coming upright, which is a really weird feeling. You crank it over on the side, and the thing doesn't want to stay on the side. It feels like it keeps trying to tug you upwards, which is a really peculiar feeling. This bike comes equipped with upside down forks, dual disc brakes, but the front tire is really, really wide for what it is, and it's not on very confidence-inspiring rubber. It's kind of like a you know, pretty much a scrambler-style rubber, which is really weird. And I'm just finding it pretty weird to take around even some light bends like this. The motorcycle feels like it doesn't really want to do this. It feels like it's really fighting me when I try to flick it in. And even right there, I started getting some shake from the front end, and the bike kind of chopped a little bit, which is not a very confidence-inspiring feeling. You know, this is a motorcycle that, to me, doesn't really want to do the whole sport thing. And again, if you spec the bike with upside-down suspension, you know, dual disc brakes, all this stuff to make it sporty and its intention, then it should be able to do this. The bars, you know, given that they're so wide, give you a good amount of leverage from side to side. You can kind of twist it back and forth, but you know, it's a type of bike where I really think that it's best reserved for just straight line kind of stuff. Overall, I think I'd rate it, for me personally, it's about a 4 out of 10 for me on the experience side of things for what this bike can do. But now I'm gonna chat with Spite about my findings on this bike, and maybe we can come to some sort of consensus on the old Harley Davidson obese robber here. All right, Spite, we must talk about this obese robber here.
Yeah, I was not listening to your vlog, even though we were rolling together. And I'm very interested to hear what you have to say about it.
Well, The long and the short of it is I rated it a 4 out of 10.
Well, if the Sport Glide was a 0 out of 10, then this is an improvement.
That is true. I think for me, you know, Harley Davidson spec'd a motorcycle here with upside down forks, dual disc brakes, all this stuff, and yet it still weighs 675 pounds. The handlebars are so wide that the kind of the leverage you get over the bike is great. It feels like some, you know, big mountain bike you can kind of just tip over really fast. But once you're on the side of the tire with this bike, it wants to pitch itself back upright. It's the weirdest thing. I'm not really sure. It must be down to the geometry or the way the bike is set up, but I've never ridden a bike that wants so badly to not lean. It's so weird. You have to keep holding it on the line. It doesn't just dive in and hold itself there, you know? But I will say I love the kind of torque-rich engine that it has. That's a really great feature, but I just can't make sense of the price and why anyone would own this thing. So why don't you give me some feedback on the bike since you've ridden it?
For me, the reason why I like it, there's a combination of features, right? Because I said that this was the Harley Davidson I would buy if it weren't for the Pan America. The first thing is I think it looks awesome. I really think the Fat Bob is the best looking of the soft tails. The second I saw it, I was like, I have to have it. And then I looked at the price tag and I second guessed myself just a little bit.
You're like, I gotta go take out a second mortgage. Give me a second.
I really enjoy just rolling on the power on that bike. The treating the throttle like a light switch is a lot of fun on that bike. You literally are just, you cruising through traffic and then you whack the throttle wide open, the bike bucks underneath you. It's a pretty impressive feel. Even though, yeah, it is only making 94 horsepower, the 114 foot-pounds of torque, man, that feels nice to me.
Yeah, the hit of power you get from it's really, really quite nice. I'm in third gear here, and I just whack it open, and it feels really good, you know? It's a really nice feeling.
And then, I don't know, I really do enjoy the idea of these big power cruisers and just muscling them through a corner. And I part of me thinks that you have to force it to stay on a line thing is almost pseudo-intentional to kind of make it feel like a bit of a brawl. It's really weird to me, though, that Harley doesn't say that motorcycle's built to go long distance, because I don't know, I was sitting on it and it literally cruises better than this bike right here. I was way more comfortable on that going from Buda, where I picked it up, to the office on the north side of town than I would have been if I was on this Sport Tourer right here. You know.
Yeah, I very much disagree with that. I think that the neutral seating position of a sport touring bike like that MV Agusta lends itself so much better to a long distance tour. You got heated grips, cruise control, all kinds of features on that thing that I think you would really miss if you had to take this thing on a 300, 400 mile trip or something like that. Which again was the thing that I was saying in my vlog, where I can't really make sense of this thing not having those features at this price point, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, not having cruise control, yeah, it is an optional extra on that bike, but the fact that it's an extra at 18.7 is ridiculous to me. That is a completely boneheaded move. The fact that colorway is an extra $1,000. There's just a lot of problems in the way that motorcycle's priced, personally. And that's part of the reason why I don't own one, is because, you know, I was thinking Harley Davidson thoughts, and then I was like, well, I could have more fun on a lighter bike that's cheaper, you know?
I think you would be happier on a Super Duke GT over something like this.
Yeah, probably. And they're about the same price, so...
Yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow, isn't it?
But then I get on the Fat Bob and I start rolling on the torque, and it just makes me giggle, you know?
Yeah. There's just there's a uniqueness, a je ne sais quoi about Harleys that if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you just don't. And that's the, you know, coming back to our kernel of the video, where it's like, is this the one that's finally gonna make me love Harleys? Like I said, if you don't love them, you don't love them. And it's not like a bigger engine and slightly different tweaks here and there is gonna magically make it so much better for me, because it has it, you know, and it is what it is.
Yeah, but I do think that there are certain things about that bike that do make it better than others in the line. You know, I think, first of all, it doesn't have the dad chrome everywhere.
Yeah,
That
for sure.
helps.
I appreciate that. I don't feel super dumb like riding it down the street.
Yeah, and the fact that it does have the 114 as opposed to the 107 that we rode in the or the Sport Glide. There's so many different. There's the Street Bob, the Sport Glide, the Wide Glide, the Road Glide.
Electric Glide.
Getting them all in the right name and right order is a lot harder than it seems.
Yeah.
But I really do think if you're interested in the Softail line and you have the extra cash to get the Fat Bob is the one to get. Personally, that's just me.
I would agree. If, like you said, if you're interested in the Softail line, yeah, why wouldn't you just go whole hog, get this one? It is the best one that I've ridden personally. Yeah, it's a peculiar motorcycle.
So you a big fan now? You converted? Have you become Yosemite Yam riding around on your Freedom Hog?
No, it's just I don't think this is ever going to be for me. And at the end of the day, I'm still on two wheels. I've still got a twist throttle. I'm having a fun time, right? This is still cool, but because I'm an experienced motorcyclist and I've ridden so many different bikes, I know the type of experience I could be having on something else, and I'd prefer to have that, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, still a bike, still fun, still nice to ride. But man, it's like 20 grand for this experience. I just can't make heads or tails of that, you know?
So what I'm really hearing is we need to get a motorcycle that's got the 130.
We need a bigger engine. That'll fix it.
It just needs to be $40,000 instead of $20,000.
Yeah, well, now everyone's going to tell me I need to ride a CVO, and then I'll understand. Then I'll get it.
Once again, the goalposts just move a little bit further and a little bit further.
Yeah, the mental gymnastics are starting to become Olympic level now.
We'll get a Pan Am in the shop, and you'll enjoy that one.
I do think it would be a fun test to do like a CVO and a Goldwing for a day. That'd be hilarious. Anyways, what do you say we head on back and wrap this video up?
All right, folks, wrapping the day up here with the vaunted Harley-Davidson Fat Bob. We have come away with it with two very different opinions, I would say. At the end of the day, motorcycles are motorcycles, right? They're all good, they're all fun, they're like dogs. You can't really hate any of them, really. But you know, it's not for me, guys. I'm sorry to say it. This Fat Bob here, I know it's the one that everyone said would change my mind and really blow me away. It really doesn't feel all that different from other Harley Davidsons. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, you have to enjoy this sort of engine and the way it makes its power to really enjoy this motorcycle, because all it is it's more of the same. If you didn't like the Sport Glide, you're not going to love this because it's like the Sport Glide but a bit better. It's a bigger engine. It handles a little bit different. They're very similar across the board, and that's the thing, is it's a similar engine, same architecture and the same frame, so you're not going to change all that much across these motorcycles.
No, guys, when you're dealing with the same frame and the similar architecture engine, similar size, similar weights, you can't really change a bike all that much. You have to start radically changing the frame and the engine to start getting some serious differences out of it. But all that to say, you know, I like the way it goes down the road. It's supple, it's torque rich, torque first, torque matters, right, as we're pointing out today. You know, I do hate to say it, I would rate it a 4 out of 10 for my type of riding and what I like to do. I think if you're trying to do touring or distance, there are better bikes. I think if you want torque, I personally think there's better bikes. If you want acceleration, there's better bikes. But like you pointed out, it's a handsome looking bike, cool looking motorcycle. If you like this look, it's the one to get. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I really like this motorcycle. If I were in the market for a cruiser, this would be right at the top of my list because it's fun, it looks cool. I love, ever since it first came out, I have loved the way the Fat Bob looks. It's been just one of those motorcycles I keep coming back to. And it's fun to ride it and just kind of have that confirmation where, yeah, I do still like this bike despite having ridden so many different other motorcycles.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe I'm just a Harley apologist, I say, in my Harley hoodie.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And Harley jacket and all the other Harley gear I have.
I think it's one of those cases where it's the different strokes for different folks, right? And there's nothing wrong with someone liking one bike and another person not liking another bike. Everybody's coming to motorcycling for a different thing. But as I mentioned in the vlog, at the end of the day, if you're on two wheels and you got a twist throttle, you can probably find a way to have yourself some fun. So that's gonna wrap up today's video. Remember, check out Twisted Road and see if you've got a cool motorcycle rental you can get in your area. And be sure to check out our new t-shirts. We've got a bunch of cool designs. This one in particular is definitely gonna fit the mold if you're a Harley-Davidson rider. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Now, partner, I gotta tell you, it's real good seeing you here at the end of this here Yam and Noob video. It's me, Cowboy Yam, aka Yosemite Yam, back at it once again. And you click this video right over here. Do me a little solid, okay? You made it to the end of the video. Do me a little favor here. Click this video. Keep watching yourself some of this incredible Yam and Noob content. It's pretty good.